Good day, adventurers. Welcome back. Lately, I've seen so many players grinding for hours and still ending up broke. It's frustrating, like you're putting in all this work and getting nowhere. Is there really no better way to make Spina? Today, we're going through 13 different Spina, making methods that players are using, and some of them might just work for you too. Which ones are actually worth your time, your effort, and your sanity? So, without further ado, let's get into it. First up, of course, the backbone of Torum's economy. Your classic area of effect mob farming method. I call this method Monster Massacre. Players use Storm, Blizzard, Cyclone, or any wide area damaging skills to wipe out mobs fast and collect drops like materials and consumables. These drops are used by other players to craft, refine, or fight monster bosses. One of the most popular entry spots is farming bird wings from Beaks and Ruined Temple. You can sell these on stalls, shout in towns, or use the consignment board. The downside, since this is so popular, you'll be competing with a ton of players. So once you get stronger, find better mobs with better loot and less competition. The more powerful you become, the better this method gets. Endgame mobs drop high-value mats that can sell for serious Spina. It scales with your progress. I'll rate this method 9 over 10. Simple to start, always in demand, but competitive and grindy. Still, this method builds the foundation of any good Spina journey. Next one's another classic way to farm Spina through boss fights. I will call this one Slay and Pay. You hunt powerful bosses and hope they drop rare materials, crystals, or gear appearances you can sell for good Spina. To do this, you need a strong build and a clear role. DPS, tank, or support, so you can join farming parties for tougher bosses. It's not about luck stats anymore. Instead, you'll need to break boss parts to unlock certain drops or increase their chances. Boss loot can be valuable, but it's not always guaranteed. Timing helps too. Torum gives drop boosts on specific bosses during weekdays and weekends. You can take advantage of these boost events to farm rare drops. I'll rate this 8.5 out of 10. Great rewards and high profit potential, but it requires strength and patience for both drop rates and finding party. So it's a good method, especially for mid to late game players. Here's one of the easiest ways to farm Spina by hunting treasure chests. I'll call this method Chest Day every day. Treasure chests are scattered across most Torum maps, but the best ones are usually in maps with boss monsters or those with 3 areas. You can hunt solo, but it's better with a party. If one member gets a rare item, everyone has a chance to get something with the same rarity. That means things like orb shards, EXP, and drop rate books, skill books, or even boss crystals can drop for the whole party. The best part, you don't need top-tier gear. Just progress your main quest to unlock the chest feature and access higher-level maps. A high-level character helps too, since mobs won't chase you around. The only limit is keys. You get one every 6 hours with a cap of 10. I'd rate this method 7.5 out of 10. No need for fancy gear or optimized builds. But keys recharge slowly and profits aren't always guaranteed. Still, it's a solid method when you just want to chill. Next one focuses on making and selling potions and buff items through the Alchemist class. I call this Brew and Bank. Alchemists are non-combat characters designed to craft healing potions, buffs, and utility items. To begin, you need to learn alchemy skills from the library and build your character with TEC Stat, which greatly increases your crafting success rate. As you craft repeatedly, your proficiency level rises, unlocking better recipes and success chances. You can start profiting early by selling low-tier potions and later unlock higher-tier consumables that are in demand during events, guild raids, or boss hunts. I'd give this method an 8 out of 10. It's beginner-friendly and sees constant demand during events, especially from players who enjoy showcasing their damage. However, its niche market and the fact that some players skip using buffs. Still, this pairs well with TEC Blacksmith builds. Now, let's talk about something stylish but profitable. I like to call it the Shade Crusade. In Torum, dyes are used to recolor your gear and, believe it or not, fashion sells. Some players are obsessed with their looks, and that's where this method comes in. The goal is to hunt for rare and popular dyes, especially black. These dyes can be found in specific bosses, often as rare drops or from some events. Weapon dyes are rarer since they usually drop from bosses in Nightmare to Ultimate difficulty, so higher level builds are needed if you want the rarest ones. Any dyes you collect can be stored on your Alchemist character for later use or sale. I'd rate this method 8 out of 10. It's stylish and event-exclusive dyes can spike in value. But since fashion isn't everyone's focus and events are limited, it's more of a side hustle than a main strategy. Next is a method that is all about farming event-exclusive loot during limited time event. I will call this Seasonal Steal Strategy. In Torum, events like Halloween, Christmas, and Anniversary only happen once a year, or sometimes just once ever, like collabs. These events offer valuable items such as Krista's limited edition gears, books, dyes, and even exclusive weapon appearances. Once the event ends, these items become rare and skyrocket in price. Players who grind during events can stockpile loot and sell it later when demand goes up. I'd rate this method 8.5 out of 10. It's a fun way to earn Spina passively and great for collectors and long-term sellers. But it's not for impatient players or those who don't plan ahead. This method is all about catching and selling pets. I'm gonna call this method wildlife smuggling. Pets aren't just decorative, they can actually be an extra party member, giving buffs, prorating damage, and even tanking or dishing out hits when built right. Players want pets with good appearance with proper weapon, type, and nature. Even bad pets sell due to the 9999 fusion required to remove party penalties. Event pets, especially with good traits, can sell for high prices too. To start, just learn taming skills, especially careful capture, and go hunt pets with potential. I'd rate this an 8.5 out of 10. It's a simple and chill method that can be surprisingly profitable, especially during events. Though a bit grindy, but if you enjoy capturing pets, it's both rewarding and relaxing. The next method is about offering your strength and skill to help other players defeat tough bosses. I will call this the bodyguard service. In Torum, there are high difficulty or event bosses that casual or undergeared players can't handle alone. You'll often be asked to solo or lead in clearing difficult bosses so others can get completion rewards or drops. But this isn't just brute force, you need great gear, deep game knowledge, and good mechanics. The best part, you're paid for your time, not the drop results. Even if they don't get what they want, you still earn. I'll rate this 8 out of 10. It's a skill-based method that doesn't rely on luck and can be very profitable. But it's also demanding if you're not a confident soloist with strong builds. Being the hero for hire can be one of the most fun Spina-making methods in Torum. Next one is a method that revolves around trading. Buying items at a low price and flipping them later for a profit. I call this Flip Happens. It's all about spotting opportunities. You buy items being sold at cheap prices. often from players who are rushing to sell or who accidentally misprice them on the consignment board. Then you resell them at a standard or higher price for profit. You can also invest in cheap items that might increase in value later, especially during events or before new skills come out. But keep in mind, this takes Spina to start with and a good understanding of how the Torum economy moves. I'd rate this method 8.5 out of 10. It's a clever way to earn Spina and can be one of the most profitable methods out there. But it demands capital, patience, and a willingness to take losses. If done properly, this method can really turn you into a big shot in the market. This method is all about turning real-life money into Spina. I want to call this Swipe to Spina. If you've got the budget and not much time to grind, this is the easiest and fastest way to make Spina. You buy orb and orb items from the shop. Things like piercers, extract crystals, or legendary gems. Then sell them at the right time when the demand and prices are high. Players often need these for strengthening gear or farming boosts, so there's always some level of demand. The trick is timing, knowing when prices spike, such as during new updates or special events. I'd give this method a 7 over 10. It's perfect for those who don't mind spending money and want fast Spina. But it's not sustainable or risk-free. Plus, you're not really earning Spina through gameplay. You're converting cash to currency. Still, with the right timing and choices, it can make you rich in-game fast. The Blacksmith class is all about creating, enhancing, and customizing equipment. There are 3 main roles under this class, and our next one focuses on refining equipment. I call this method from +0 to hero. Refining is simple. You either offer refined services to other players or buy unrefined equipment with good potential from the consignment board. Refine them yourself and resell for profit. There are 2 types of refiner, Luck Refiner and Tech Refiner. Most people prefer Tech for its balance of speed and reliability. You can negotiate with customers whether they provide the materials or you do. I'll rate this 8 out of 10. It's a stable since everyone needs refined gear. However, many players offer refined services, so pricing must be strategic. But still, it's a steady and reliable source of income. The next one is also under the Blacksmith class and is all about crafting weapons and armor. I call this method Craft to Cash. You create gear, either weapons or armor, and sell them for profit. Players are always hunting for upgrades, so there's consistent demand. Like alchemy, you must raise your proficiency to unlock better crafts. Even lower potential gear often sells, and if you're lucky, crafting a 2-slotted item with good potential can fetch a very high price. Your investment keeps coming back. I rate this 9 out of 10. It has steady demand, great profit potential, especially during events like Anniversary. Just keep in mind, RNG with potential and slots can still affect your gains. Gear crafting is one of the best long-term Spina methods in Torum. The next one is with the use final part of the Blacksmith class. It focuses on statting gears. I call this Stat Me Up. In this method, you apply specific stat combinations to equipment using formulas. Some stats are easy to apply, while others have low success rates. If you manage to succeed with a rare or high-demand stat build, you can sell the gear for a huge profit. To do this effectively, you need a large stash materials and a solid understanding of formulas and success rates. It's also important to keep track of the current game meta. Knowing which stats are most in demand will make or break your profits. I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. This method is excellent for experienced players who keep up with the meta. With enough materials and the right timing, you can earn massive Spina. While it's risky due to RNG, the returns from high-demand stats make it worth the effort for players who are smart and updated. And there you have it, the 13 Spina making methods I personally know and how effective I think they are based on my experience, each with its own rhythm, risk, and reward. Mix and match them, find the synergy, and remember. Enjoy the grind. Spina doesn't come instantly. It takes patience, trial and error, and a mindset focused not just on profit, but also on progress. If you're having fun while earning, then you're already rich in your own way. How about you? What method do you think fits you best? Or is there another awesome Spina making trick that wasn't covered here but you'd love to share? Drop your thoughts and tips in the comments. Happy grinding and see you in Sofia.